Hi, and welcome back to MRP Made Easy, Part 2. In this video, we will calculate an MRP grid using our bill of material for level 0. The next level, we will calculate MRP grids using the bill of material level 1. So take a moment and pause the video. Did you download the MRP handout that's available in the Learning System? If not, go ahead and do that now. You will be able to fill out the MRP grid along with us as we do the video. It will make it easier to learn and a little bit more fun. When you're ready, hit the play button. Remember that we talked about our MRP inputs on video 1. That was the MPS, the inventory records, and the bill of material. Well, we're going to use those again. This is what an MRP grid looks like. So in the corner, we have our bill of material. This is an example of the product tree that we had in video 1. We also have our inventory data, including our on-hand and our planning factors. So in this particular example, we're looking at part number C, has a lot size of 1, or lot for lot, a lead time of 1, and an on-hand of 10. Across the top, we have our time periods. Now these could be weeks or months or days or hours, but for learning, these are our time periods that we're going to be using. We also have our gross requirements. Since this is part number C, our end item, we received our gross requirements from the MPS. On the other parts, A and R, for example, the gross requirements will not come from the MPS because those are dependent demand. And we will talk about how we calculate the PAB. So let's go ahead and get started. The PAB of 10 in this very first time bucket is the same as our on-hand inventory. The way that MRP is calculated, it takes that PAB of the previous period of 10 minus the gross requirements of the current period of 5, and you have a PAB of 5 in period 1. We repeat it in period 2. We start with the previous PAB of 5 in period 1, minus our 5 gross requirements in period 2, and we have a PAB balance of 0 in period 2. Now some of you might be thinking, oh, we don't want 0 on hand. If that's the case, then you need to put safety stock on your item master. And we will have another video to talk about safety stock and how MRP will be calculated. But for the time being, we're not going to use the safety stock. So now we move on to period 3. We take our previous PAB of 0 in period 2, and 0 minus 5 is a negative number. That quantity is going to become our net requirement. And notice, we don't make it a negative there. So 0 minus 5 is a net requirement of 5. In that same period, we're going to have a planned order receipt to cover that net requirement amount. In this case, it's the same as the net requirement because our lot size is 1, or lot for lot. If our lot size was 10, then our planned order receipt would be 10. But for right now, we're going to use lot for lot, so our planned order receipt is going to be the same as our net requirement. Then what happens? A planned order release is created. What MRP does is they take that planned order receipt and they offset it by the lead time of 1 to create the planned order release. In other words, we need to release that order in period 2 to come in on period 3, and we need to do it in period 2 because it has a 1 period lead time. Now let's go back and look at our PAB again. So our previous PAB was 0, and 0 plus our planned order receipt minus our gross requirement is 0. Now the reason why I plus the receipt and then I subtract the gross requirement, the way that MRP typically works when you have time periods like this, it says the receipt happens at the beginning of the period and the requirements are filled at the end of the period. So for that reason, I plus the receipt and then I minus the gross requirement. All right, moving on to period 4. We take our PAB in period 3 of 0, our previous period, minus our 5. We have a net requirement. We have a planned order receipt, that same quantity, because of our lot size of 1. We are going to create the planned order release, or MRP will create the planned order release, and then go back and recalculate the PAB of 0 plus 5 minus 5 is 0. Now remember, I might be saying, and we calculate, but in essence, MRP is doing all of this work. All right, so now for period 5. What I'd like you to do is pause the video and try to do that on your piece of paper. When you're ready, hit play. All right, hopefully you completed your MRP grid for part number C. Let's see how you did. We start with the previous PAB, that's in period 4 of 0. 0 minus 5 is 5. You notice I don't have the squares this time. And then 5 net requirement is going to create a planned order receipt. That's going to create the planned order release. And we go back and recalculate our PAB of 0 plus 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. That's it, folks. That's MRP made easy. Now, we've made it real easy in this example. We have a lot size of 1 and a lead time of 1, and we don't have an open order, and we don't have safety stock or higher lot sizes or allocated scrap factors, but basically all the MRP grids follow these same steps. And we will be talking about all of those different scenarios in the upcoming videos. As a recap, let's do this little quiz. These questions are on the learning system as well. So number 1, MRP will drive the PAB to what? Providing you don't have a safety stock. 0. Number 2, the planned order receipt is in the same period as the, and you might want to take a look at the MRP grid that we have. The planned order receipt is in the same period as the net requirement. The planned order release is, so we take our receipt and we offset it by the lead time. So the planned order release is created because we offset the planned order receipt by the lead time. And again, MRP does this. We don't need to do it. MRP will calculate what fields? The PAB, the net requirements, the planned order receipt, and the planned order release. We don't have to do any of that. So look how easy MRP has made planning for us. In summary, we said that we were going to calculate an MRP for a level 0 on a bomb. Did you learn? Our next video, we will continue to use the same bill of material, and we will calculate MRP for using the next level on the bill of material. Hope you're looking forward to the next video. Thanks. Once again, this is Deb Hansford.